65-inch TCL TV with no picture. The light is flashing at the top where it says Sling TV, Hulu. Alright, so that does indicate that we have a backlight problem.
Chi-Town's finest.
Make sure those are unplugged before you remove the back cover, after you take all the screws out. Okay, main board, power supply board, T-Con board, Wi-Fi module. Our LED connector on the power supply board, which is actually the connector right there where the wires are going inside of the TV. That's obviously our LED plug, and we're going to check that. Okay, it should be pretty much straightforward. This plug, we got two different lines. Okay, and obviously the red is marked red. So I'll just put my red wire on the red one. So I'll put red on red, and my black lead on the black one. And as you can see, my meter is going up to 137 volts, and I do see backlights through TV. Okay, and I'll go to the next line for my red on red and my black lead on the white, and we have absolutely nothing. There is an open circuit. I'll just push it around just to make sure. Sometimes these leads are backwards. Yep, so that is an open line, and this one here is our good line. $137. All right, steady. Okay, so therefore that indicates that we do have a backlight problem, which is pretty common with these TVs. Now, don't get me wrong, TCL makes some pretty nice televisions, except for the simple fact that they all have LED problems, right? Okay. But other than that, I rarely came across a TCL TV with a bad power supply, except I had one on a 32-inch. I'm sorry, power supply right here, or a bad main board. I had one that was actually boot looping a TCL, and so I replaced the main board and that solved it. Okay, so obviously there was a firmware problem on the main board. And like I said, this one's a little different from the S405, the 65 S405 and 402, whatever that was. You can see that actually the power supply board and main board is switched, right? So the power supply board would have usually been on that side, main board on this side. No big deal. But that's pretty much about it, and we have to take this outer bezel off. This whole outer bezel, well, this is our bezel. Actually, I will guess it's all one piece. So what I'm gonna do first to get this bad baby apart is, okay, we got the speakers and everything off already, and I'm actually gonna disconnect my driver board from my T-Con board right here. Okay, make sure that's ready so I won't forget that. Looks like my Wi-Fi module has to come off, or does this, let me see, yes. We're gonna take this Wi-Fi module out. First we'll unplug it, undo the little clips around the side of it that's holding it down into this plastic retainer. Okay, and pull that out, and we have to pull the Wi-Fi module up this black plastic piece up because there is a screw right there in the middle right here. I don't know if you see that or not, but okay. It's gonna come up. Now this wire right here, this is our antenna for the Wi-Fi module. So we want to leave that on there because those are kind of hard to put back on once you take them off. I'm going to keep this together, the screw and the retainer over here. So we want to free up our driver boards. Okay, that's the first thing. So obviously this has to come off, this metal piece, and obviously our brackets or mounts for our feet. Okay, if we're using the little feet to stand it up on the table or whatever, right? Okay, so I'm gonna just mark this so I won't forget to put this back on. Right? Same thing, mark the spot. Okay, so there's obviously 4 Phillips screws need to come off in each one of them. It slides right off. Okay, so these are different, as you can see. All right, so make sure that you keep these separated, don't get them confused. Okay, otherwise the back cover will not go on if these are on backwards. So I'm just going to put the screws inside and just keep this to the right. And I'm going to do this, take the other one off and put that one to the left so that I know that goes on the left side. But like I said, you can see how the curve is going in proportion with the back cover. So we know this is for this side and that one is the other one is for the right side. Hey guys, if you already work on televisions or other electronics and want to learn more about television repair, make sure you check out The Art of Troubleshooting and Repairing Modern Televisions. This is an intense, detailed, easy to understand, online television repair course designed to show you how TVs work by covering important circuits and sub-circuits. You are not going to find anything like this online, especially in the English language. Students also have an online community where they can post videos, pictures, and ask questions about TV repair. The entire course is step-by-step instructions covering every circuit from the power cord to the power button in that order. And that, my friends, is the art. Knowing how the television works from start to finish. All the trainings include live PowerPoint presentations showing you in detail how all the circuits work, and also live hands-on trainings putting you right there in the action. This entire course is expected to be completed by midsummer, but you do have access now for a special pre-launch price, and it presently includes over 8 hours of intense, detailed, easy to understand trainings. And my name is Robert. I've been working on television for 30 years, and I wish I would have had a course like this about 10 years ago. That would have absolutely shortened my learning curve. If you want to see a 15-minute demo demonstration of the course, just go to my channel, Big Dog 8882, and check out the TV repair course update and live course footage. And that has over 15 minutes of raw footage from inside the course. So guys, what are you waiting on? Click the link below or in the video somewhere, and I will see you in the course. Big Dog out. Okay, so next we have these plates, metal plates covering our driver boards left and right. And so me personally just get into the habit of marking it. Okay, so I know exactly where it goes. Only goes on one way, but you know, the marking is gonna save you less time in trying to figure it out and move it over here, move it over there. So, and I mark the end, you know, just like that, so you know exactly where it goes once you put it on there. And if you want, you can color the screws, so you won't get those mixed up. All right. So screws at the bottom. So we got screws at the bottom here and at the top right here. So those look like number 1 Phillips, and these are probably number 2, the ones on top. The ones on bottom look a lot smaller. So we'll just take the ones off on the top. Oh, I'm sorry, number 1. Yep, number 1 Phillips, the ones on the bottom. Got some tape right here. Be careful when I pull this up because I don't know what's up under here. Just to help ground it. And remember, on this side, we still have our. Oh, and we got the one right in the middle. It's one in the middle connecting both of them. And looks like this one's on the bottom, this one's on top. So I'll just mark. Probably doesn't make a difference. But I'll just mark this one to show that that's the one that's supposed to be on top. So it's like it's overlapping. And that's it. And so we'll still leave our Wi-Fi module antenna. This is the antenna right here. Okay, well, let's leave that on there. Don't need that. All right, and do the same thing with the other side. Take the screws out and pull that right up. Okay, and as you can see, we have our left and right driver boards, one on each side. And I'm gonna kind of free it up a little bit because I'm gonna have to turn it around, flip the TV on its back, and we're gonna make sure these are pretty loose. So I'm just gonna take the grounding tape. You can pull it off however you want to from the board or from the chassis. I'll just leave mine there. And believe this tape is really conductive, so be careful when you're putting this tape back. You don't want to just put it back anywhere because if you put it like down here, these are like traces, okay? So all this gold down here. So you be careful when you're putting the tape back on there. You don't want to just stick it like across the components over here or whatever, right? And be careful with this tabs, like I almost jugged one with my stick. Right, yeah, be careful with these tabs also. Do not crunch them or crinkle them up. Try not to even touch them, okay? So it's probably best to take it off from the chassis. That way we don't have to worry about sticking it back on the board the wrong way. Like that. Okay, so there's 2 here, and there's 2 on the other side. And this is to help ground the driver boards. And there's like a little clip right here. You just unplug the top or push it out or however you want to do it. I believe. Yeah, there we go. And there's one here. Just push it in. One there and one there. And that's obviously frees up our driver board. Okay? But for right now, I'm going to actually just leave these kind of like in there because I don't want to walk past it. Because now what I have to do, I want to have to walk past it and catching on my clothes or anything on my hand and rip that and tear these up. Because once you tear these COF cables or chip-on film, they're actually chips, IC chips inside these cables, okay, for the redirecting of the pixels, like for addressing the pixels. But anyway, if you tear these cables or rip them or crunch them, too bad. The TV is done for. That's it. You have to replace the whole panel. And let me see if I can zoom in on one so maybe you can see that there is an IC and some traces inside of those. See there? See there's some traces. The IC is probably, where am I looking at? What am I pointing to? Here we go. All right. So there's an IC probably like in there, but these are the traces, okay? And we definitely do not want to damage these right here, crunch them up or anything. So what I'm going to have to do now is actually, I'm going to have to take all these screws out from around the bezel. Okay? Start right here at the very bottom. And goes all the way around the entire TV. Okay, and we have to pull that out because then we can release our screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull most of the screws out now, except probably these two on the end at the very bottom. Okay, and the one on the other side. Okay, at the very bottom. Because when I flip the TV around, I don't want it to come loose, right? And then the screen falls out and I damage, you know, the screen or whatever, right? So I'm just gonna start taking those out. Those are actually number 1 Phillips, looks like. And be careful, they will strip very easily. All right, so make sure that you push all the way down, get a nice tight fit, and then slowly take it loose. All right, and as you can see, it is loose already. So we'll take all those screws out except for the ones at the bottom, and then once I flip it over, I have to get up under there and take those last screws out. And this one piece should pull right off. Now, yeah, some of these screws are already very tight, so yeah, but if it does get stripped, like that one, that will get stripped. I mean, for some reason, I don't know, it's just made cheaper. Just take some needle nose pliers, some wire cutters, right? And you can just kind of like grab it until it starts turning. Or whatever kind of method that you use to remove strip screws. So it's turning a little bit. And let's see if I can catch it. Just for the catch now. Almost. Okay, that should be about ready to come out. There we go. Okay, that's it. And I got another one on here too. I'll do that one the same way. But it's everything else, all the screws came out. I hope the ones, let me just do the ones on the bottom just to make sure. I'm gonna put them back in. So, okay, that one's good. And there, I just made sure that it wasn't going in too tight. That way, once I turn the TV over and have to be up under it, trying to do that, it's gonna make it a lot harder, right? So let's just make sure that this one's gonna come off pretty easily. Good. Okay. All right, and let me do that one at the top that I got stripped. Let me do that one the same way with the wire cutters and get that one up, and then we'll be ready then to flip the television around so we can pull this outer piece out for the outer bezel and then pull our screen off. Okay, like I said, now we have the 2 screws still at the bottom right here and in the other corner over there. Okay, so what we'll do now is actually flip it over, take these screws out, and then pull this whole U or square shaped bezel off, okay? Making sure there are no screws at the bottom. Okay, right? Okay. Now you could take those screws out if you want, but me, safety first. So I got one driver board free right here, and I'm going to release this other one. All right, right there, right up under the Roku TV. Here we go. This other side. Okay, it just kind of like locks into there. Okay, like so. Lift this up, pull that out. Okay, and that slides right out. Hopefully. Here we go. Being very careful. And we know the smooth side is facing the front. Now to pull the screen off, what do we need to do? This is obviously attached to the screen, so I'm gonna be extra careful. I'm still gonna put a piece of tape right here, so I won't snag that. I'm gonna take the board to the screen, like that. Just a little play in it, that's fine. Put a piece of tape on that one. Piece of tape on that one. Hopefully the screen should come right up. Looks like we're in good shape. I'm just gonna look so I know exactly where the panel goes when I put it back. All right, got some little stoppers along the sides right here. Want to press down with a little pressure. Trying to shake it around, make sure it doesn't come loose. All right, push down a little pressure. This one, not doing too good, is it? Please, no! Just be careful, just loosen this middle piece, flip it up if it gets stuck. And there's also some tape on each side right here, up under here, which is kind of stupid, on both sides. And then this thing should come right up, hopefully. Okay, obviously the bottom is also stuck. There we go. Come up. All right, there we go. I got that piece off, and voila, there we go. So the top and bottom piece come off first. I'm actually going to mark the corner. And as you can see, there's some clips right here. Easy peasy. Some more tape. Stupid, bro. Actually, crazy. And they got this piece marked and that piece marked. So the top and bottom come on first, and then the sides. So when you put it back together, then you know the sides go on first, and then top and bottom, right? And as you see on the side, like I said, there's some little clips. Just use your fingernails, that's all. Big deal. See? So it makes it easier. You don't have to use a prior tool or anything like that. It's in rubber, actually like a rubbery plastic kind of material. Do the same thing with the other side. And then we can pull off our diffuser screens. And I'm going to just put a mark right here on the outside screen, right there in the corner. Let me know that side is facing up. This very thick screen at the bottom. You want to make sure that you have enough space, okay, between here and the front. Otherwise, when you put that bezel on, it's not going to go on correctly. Okay, so I'm just like put like a mark right here. Let me know that the screen has to be at least that far back. Of course, we got some tape. All right, again. Yeah, so make sure that this big screen is pushed all the way down to the stopper. As you see, there's a stopper. When you put it back together, there's a stopper right. There's some stoppers right there. See here? Okay, there's one there further down. right there. Okay. All right, I had to learn the hard way. I didn't crack the screen, but it took me several tries before I figured out that this screen right here, that's this screen right here, this thick screen was too far up, okay? And the bezel, the outer bezel would not go on correctly, but I'm just gonna keep these together. Now what's a good idea also is to just put a piece of tape. Golly. All right. You just put one piece of tape around this just so they won't come apart, because these are so slippery they will slide off. If you set them up against like the wall or something, they will actually slide down, and then you'll be looking like, what was that? And then you'll look and the screens are like, you know, you don't know which one goes where, because if these screens are flipped over incorrectly or in the wrong order, you're gonna get a bad picture, okay? I'll just let you know that now, it's gonna be out of focus. Okay, so I'm gonna put one piece of tape right there. Okay, I got my red dot right here at the end showing that goes towards the bottom of the chassis. And then that's it. That's all at one time. So obviously the paper has to come off. So I'm gonna mark the paper. And before we take the paper off, every day I'm gonna have to remove these stand-ups or our screen spacers. And they each have one Phillips screw. Looks like a number, is that number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Okay, easy peasy. Just remove all of those. Okay, you see a bunch of them. Probably was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 of these. All right, and as you can see, you don't need to mark where they go because they're just holes right there where they go. I want to put these in front of my diffuser screens because it's really easy for you to get to put these back on. All right, so these go on, and then the diffuser screens go over that, because this has to keep the screens spaced away from the LED lights, which you see right here. Otherwise, if it's too close, you're going to start seeing bright circles where the LED lights are at. All right, believe me, I've done a few where I forgot to put back on, and I was highly upset. I had to take the whole TV back apart and put these spacers back in there. So I already tore a piece. If you got any tears, make sure you piece them back together with just some clear tape. If you got like a big tear or something, just get some white paper and clear tape and cover it up. Because what happens is, if you do not do that, you're gonna have like these little shadows where the silver stuff is showing in the background, in the picture. Oh, I left one on here. Okay, just get that off. So now, let's find out which one of these strips is bad. Okay, we'll just pull this tape off. Obviously, unplug it, just push down at the end and pull this plug out right there. Easy peasy. And so we can get this actually taped down some kind of way. See if we can get this party started right here by just going up under here and pulling this up. We start from this end maybe, let's see. Being careful you don't cut yourself if you're trying to use something sharp to pull the strip up. There we go. I hate those little glass things. Our new strip, okay, has some tape on it, double-sided tape. I'm just gonna peel that off. What I'm gonna do is there's a hole right here. Actually 2 holes. Let's see where the other hole goes. It's actually a stir up there and a stir up there. where the hole goes over at, but I think it's this big one. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. That looks about even. There we go. Perfect. Press that down. Make sure it's sticking. Plug it back in. Okay, and we'll make sure that we have our LEDs plugged back into our power supply board. Okay, and then what I'm going to have to do next is actually I'm going to take the back cover and plug the button back in to actually turn it on. So, turn this back around. Okay, being careful because it is sharp on the edges. But actually we have the remote sensors all in this button right here, this glass sensor, I was assuming, right? Okay, so these other two wires with the speakers, I don't need that right now. I'm just gonna plug in the bigger white plug. That's for the keypad and the keypad and the remote control. Now my power is over here. And plug in, the AC is plugged in. I'm gonna hit power, little button right here, one button. And looks like we got backlights. We just unplug it. Voila. We have backlights. Excellent.